business family, and welcome to another episode of the Business of Black Business. Now, I have a question for you, and you know I always do. Do you have a podcast today and you're looking to level that podcast up? Or do you have a business idea or a concept that you're trying to monetize? Well, today we get to talk to a serial entrepreneur, a person that I believe is on the cutting edge of that space. Hello, my name is Jay Reynolds. And you know that this is a business of Black business. I own Wolf Creek Consulting. We are a top-ranked executive staffing company with offices in Fort Lauderdale and Coral Springs. And again, this is the business of Black business, and it's a show about you. Now, this show is designed to help Black entrepreneurs and would-be Black owners to start and to scale a business. More than anything else, it's a unique opportunity for you to gain access to really successful business people and to see how they did it. I want you to be in the room, right? I want you to hear from them. So let's get to it. We got a lot to unpack. So today's guest is Dr. Tracy Timberlake, a really sought after speaker and coach that works with leaders and entrepreneurs. Now, over the course of the last 10 years, she's really built a significant global business working with people, helping them to start, to scale, and sustain both businesses and brands. So, Dr. Timberlake, I'm really excited to talk to you. Like I mentioned to you before, I'm a big fan. I've gone to your sites and kind of watched some of your podcasts and the things that you're doing. And again, I'm a big fan. So now there are people out there that don't know you, people that are meeting you for the first time. What do you want them to know about you and what you do?
Oh, to everybody. First of all, thank you so much for having me and for having this conversation with me. If you are watching from the comfort of your own home or wherever you may be, my name is Dr. Tracy Timberlake.
From the barbershop, right? It could be from the barbershop.
It could be from the barbershop. My name is Dr. Tracy Timberlake. I've been a business coach for a little over 10 years now. And what do people need to know about me? I am very, very passionate about seeing people step into their entrepreneurial journey, whether they're in the beginning or whether they are, in the middle of it. I find it fascinating. I think that people who are called to be entrepreneurs have a very special calling, just like any other calling. But
Sure.
my specific area of genius is in helping people who are in the entrepreneurial space really get to where they're trying to go. There's a variety of different ways that happens, but it's really interesting hearing everyone's journey into getting into entrepreneurship and then seeing.
Well, I got to tell you, that dovetails into my very first question. I want you to share your journey. What inspired you to become an entrepreneur?
Oh God, what inspired me? I think that if you look at an entrepreneur's journey, you can probably see that they were entrepreneurial their whole life. Like I was probably an entrepreneur at 5. Like,
yeah, exactly. So was I.
Yeah.
It's 6 years old. I'm shining shoes on the street corners.
It's true. The lemonade stands, the shoe shining, I'll wash your car, though. How much will you give me if I do this?
Exactly.
At the top. So that was sort of, looking back and seeing that was a part of my journey. But really it was, the desire for freedom, very specifically, because I had a family issue that occurred and realized that I was not able to be there for my family the way that I wanted to be there.
Wow, but that's the mother of invention, right? Necessity is the mother of invention. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because I was tied down to a 9 to 5. My income was limited at that 9 to 5, and it was a great job. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I've loved every 9 to 5 job that I had prior to becoming an entrepreneur. There was nothing wrong with any of them. I was in higher education. It was great. It just was not giving me what I wanted out of life and what I knew I could contribute to the world, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Well, tell me a little bit about things like the challenges that you faced up front. Obviously, again, necessity becoming a mother of invention, you decided you had to reinvent yourself to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of the challenges that you faced early on? And give me one challenge that almost stopped you.
And I'm going to be very, very honest.
Oh, please do.
Yes. I came into entrepreneurship very green, meaning that I didn't think that people failed at this. Like I thought everyone, like, if you want to be an entrepreneur, I was like, oh, like you just.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make a lot of money.
Right, like And I was very, very fortunate to be able to make a lot of money very, very quickly. So the beginning part of my journey was not the hard part. The hard part was scaling. Like that's when the mindset of scaling, like, oh, this could be bigger. This could be bigger than I ever thought it could be. This could be more money than I've ever made in my whole life. That's really, I would say that's the biggest challenge, is recognizing that you can actually go beyond yourself. Because in my opinion, I mean, and based on what I've seen, anybody can make $10,000.
Mhm.
Like the first 10,000, people can make the first 100,000 even, but can you do that repeatedly? That's where the mindset
Right.
comes
Right. Year after year
in.
after
Mhm.
year, no matter
Correct.
what the environment is,
Correct.
no matter all of the noise and the things that are happening around you, can you continue
Exactly.
to do that? Can you continue?
Exactly. So I would say scaling the business beyond that first, few six figures, that's really where the challenge started to kick in.
Talk to me a little bit about defining moments, right? Everybody's got those defining moments when you kind of know. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
When did you realize that your business had real momentum?
I think I realized that my business had real momentum when I started to get outside input from billionaires, like people who were investors. We work with a lot of investors with one of my companies. So Flourish Media is a media agency. We run a conference once a year where we talk about business funding and financing and things like that. And so I think the first time that I realized that there was something to this is when one of the investors, who is a very prominent investor here in South Florida, he's invested in some of the biggest projects real estate wise here. Um, he said, "Wait a second, your conversion rates are higher than Colombian cocaine." I said, "Oh, really?" Like, again, and this would have been like
Oh my
two
God,
years.
that is
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah, and I think that's the first time that I, was able to see the numbers in a different way. Again, I knew no different, right? Like I thought everyone was successful, so I'm
Yeah,
just here having a good time. And he looked at the books, and we met several times, and he became a great mentor to me. And he was looking at everything and looking at the numbers, and he was like, "This is unheard of." And I was like, "Well, I don't know any different." So,
I gotta tell you, that is probably one of the hardest things for businesses to understand what the conversion rates are. How much
mhm,
is it costing you
right.
to get those new clients, right?
Mhm,
And I gotta tell you, man, it's that is something that still puzzles me today, right? How much is it costing me to get these new clients that we're getting? Because it's always a moving target too,
yeah.
depending on the tools that you use. But that's really a really really good story. Now let's talk about minority
Mhm,
entrepreneurs. Sometimes our lives are a little different, right?
mhm,
And we face other things. And what are some of the unique barriers you think minority entrepreneurs face that are, let's call it, different than some
yeah.
of the other middle of the road businesses out there?
No, absolutely. I think a lot of it is the understanding of how money is made. I mean, this is a big one because we work with a lot of minority-owned businesses. We work with a lot of women-owned businesses, Black women specifically, and there's this concept that we don't understand where we think that we have to fund everything on our own. We don't realize there's a
Ah,
lot of money out there that's
yeah.
available. We just don't know how to access it, and that's a really big barrier for scale when it comes to businesses that are trying to grow or even trying to start. They don't realize that there's funding available to them. Now there's, obviously metrics that they have to figure
Oh,
out and
absolutely.
strategy.
It's performance
Right.
metrics, and you have to have the financials, and you have
Yeah,
a whole lot of things in place.
correct.
Exactly.
But it's available, I mean, to the millions, if not billions of dollars across the world. And that's a big barrier to growth for minority owned businesses.
Well, one of the things that we're going to do when we come back, we're going to have to take a commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to talk about building and scaling a business and what it takes, along with the psyche that goes along with that whole thing, right?
Mhm.
So I'm right now I'm talking to Dr. Tracy Timberlake, who doesn't dance, probably doesn't sing a whole lot, but we'll be right back to talk about you and to talk about your business.
February 19th to the 22nd. Join your favorite culinary stars at the Food Network South Beach Wine and Food Festival.
It's going to be amazing.
Don't miss out on the gastronomic extravaganza that's making waves.
If you haven't been, you are missing it.
Take part in masterclasses, tastings, exclusive events, and so much more. Proceeds benefit educational programs and scholarships at Florida International University.
And buy your tickets early because they're going to go quick.
Get your tickets now at SoBWFF.org.
Welcome home to Kitchen and Cocktails by Kevin Kelly, America's best comfort food.
guess what? Reservations are now open, and we cannot wait to serve you with the finest Southern food this country has seen. Kitchen and Cocktails by Kevin Kelly. Go to Open Table and book your reservation now, or find us on Instagram at Kitchen Cocktails with a K USA. Welcome home. Book your reservation now.
To learn more about what we do, to get involved in our mission to help all of Broward's children learn, grow, and thrive, or to find a program or service for your children, visit us at cscbroward.org. The Children's Services Council of Broward County. Our focus is our children.
And welcome back to the Business of Black Business. And yes, you're exactly right. We're talking about you and your business. The next thing we're going to talk about here with a person that I believe that can actually give you some significant insight. We're going to talk about building and scaling a business. Now, Tracy, I would ask you this, and I'm sure you've been asked this a bunch of times, but what are the first three things that every entrepreneur should focus on when getting into a new business, no matter what it is? What are the first three things a person should actually pay attention to?
Great question. And no, I don't think I've actually been asked that specifically, but I think number one is you're going to have to learn how to do market research. Every idea is not a profitable idea. So you need to figure
Profit
out
versus passion, right?
Correct. Right. And listen, everything can make money. Right. Like everything can make money, but you have to figure out where you fit in the industry. So market research is a big one. Number two, you're going to have to make sure that you have help. And help can come in many forms, whether you get an actual business coach, whether you attend a conference. Like trying to do something on your own that you've never done before is silly. It is silly and foolish. If you've never built a business before, you've never built $1 million business or $1 billion business, trying to believe that you can do it by yourself is not very smart. And then number three, I would definitely say pay attention to your mindset. This is a very, very big one. And
explain. Give me more about that.
Yeah. So a lot of the work that I've done over the last 10 years is really just helping people understand the mindset of an entrepreneur. What makes you a really good employee does not make you a good entrepreneur. We'll start with that. Like your ability to be a great employee is usually the antithesis of being an excellent entrepreneur, because entrepreneurship requires a different level of thinking and a different level of perseverance. And so it's in that perseverance where people, they don't understand that everything doesn't hit the same all the time the first time, right? And so the mindset of being afraid of failure can oftentimes be such a hindrance, because when you're an entrepreneur, it's not that you're failing at anything, it's just you're testing a lot of different theories and figuring out which one is going to be the right one. But that can really play games with you. Like your mind will play games on you. You'll think that it's not working. You'll think that you're not smart enough. You'll think you're not good enough. You don't have access to things. These kinds of people get it. You don't. Like, so there's all of these mindsets. If you've never come from entrepreneurship, you're going to think that, well, nobody in my family has done this. There's so much that happens on the back end in the subconscious mind that can really hinder us. And it's the science of really understanding the mindset and how the mindset works, I think, determines whether or not you're successful at being an entrepreneur or you just have a very expensive hobby.
Right. And exactly. And I talk to people all the time, it's a passion of mine of again, reaching back to other entrepreneurs and pulling folks along. And one of the things that I always say is that they confuse a job. I mean, they confuse a business with a job, right? They're not working toward building a business. They're basically, giving themselves an income, and they have to understand and there's nothing wrong with giving yourself an income,
right?
But if you're talking about building a business and building a business that's scalable and whatever, then you have to have that mindset that says, hey, look, I'm doing more than just giving myself a well-paying job or a job. And that's one of the biggest problems that I see. I'm going to ask you, what are some of the common mistakes that you see minority founders make early on. And this is a business about Black business. So I know you work with all kinds of companies and global brands. And I hate to paint you into this corner, but that's what this show is about, right?
Yeah, no, you're not painting me in any corner. I love being in that corner. So that's fine.
Okay, cool.
I think one of the mistakes, and you mentioned it earlier, is really understanding the metrics. People don't pay attention to that. And so you may have made, let's say you may have made $500,000, but if it costs you $400,000 to make $500,000, well, that's not really a very good conversion rate because you don't know your metrics. You don't know what your ROI is. You don't know what your ROAS is. You don't know what your cost of acquisition is. So really, one of the biggest mistakes, at least we see on the back end when it comes to scaling business, is understanding what those metrics are, what's required of you. And that's not just investment money-wise, but it's also investment time-wise. If it takes you 23 hours to do something, that's not a very good investment of your time.
Right.
So,
if you're working 180 hours a week.
Right. To make $100,000, well, you might as well just get a job because at the very least you'll get more sleep. So it's really understanding that. That's one of the biggest mistakes. And then the second one, I would say, is not treating yourself as a leader, like not understanding your own leadership. Leadership when it comes to building a business is incredibly important and something that people do not pay attention to because you have to have high levels of leadership. You have to be able to lead yourself. At some point, you're going to have to be able to lead a team. And so if you don't know how to do that well, your business is not going to go very far.
Right. I got to tell you, that makes me ask a different question I hadn't planned to ask. But let's say, for example, sometimes you can be a victim of your own success, right? You can be very, very, you can leave corporate America, do whatever, or build this business, and all of a sudden you're very, very successful, right? And then you have to deal with your own psyche. And you talked about that a little bit more, but I'm going to drill down into a little deeper.
Yeah.
The whole idea about, let's call it imposter syndrome, right?
Huge.
That's a real thing. That is absolutely a real thing. And I got to tell you, I personally dealt with that for a very long time. It was like 15 years. I'm a successful business. I'm 15 years in the business, and I'm having to deal with this whole idea about, one day somebody's going to realize, Jay's really not that smart. How do you coach people through that? Because that was a real thing for me.
No, it is. And I mean, it's a very layered response because imposter syndrome has so many different sort of trigger points. For some people, success is going to trigger that imposter syndrome. And basically, I talk to people about it like it's the stock market, right? So if you imagine, I know it's a very interesting concept, but if you imagine the stock market, the stock market, you're going to see those lines like this. Let's go like this. And we all have like a set point. It's our set high point. So whenever we hit that ceiling of the set high point, we start to hit that imposter syndrome, and then it brings us back down a little bit. So you have to know what
you almost sabotage yourself sometimes, right?
Correct. And you will. You not almost. You will. You will sabotage yourself out of success because you don't believe that you can break through that ceiling. And that ceiling is different for a lot of different people, right? Whatever that trigger is. But you have to figure out what the trigger is and then be able to break through it. Now, one of the best ways, and this is just a very honest conversation, one of the best ways to break out of that is to stay busy. If you continue to give yourself evidence of your own success, then you begin to defeat the imposter syndrome within you because now you have three-dimensional reality that says, actually, whatever I'm thinking is not actually right because I've outworked myself. And I'm not saying hustle culture. I'm not saying don't go to sleep.
Yeah, I got you.
You have to give yourself enough evidence to prove yourself wrong. And the only way that you can give yourself enough evidence is to stay busy, to allow yourself to continue to test your theories, to continue to get out there, put yourself out there, find more ways that you can grow the business, whatever that looks like for you. But these are the conversations that I have on a regular basis. Like 90% of the conversations that I have with clients is about imposter syndrome because a lot of my clients are at that level.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah. And I tell people this all the time because everyone experiences it. It's not just minorities. One of my most successful clients found me on TikTok, right? Found a video that I talked about imposter syndrome on TikTok. He is not my ideal client. He's like a white man from Utah. He's not, and he bugged me on the internet. He was like, please, call me. And he's not my
Please, can we talk about this?
Like, yes, please, I will pay you whatever. Just please talk to me. And this is a person that makes $200,000 a month, $300,000, and still experiencing that like imposter syndrome because he was entering into a new phase of his business. So don't feel like, oh, only minorities experience this, no, this is across the board. And 90% of the people that I have conversations with, it really is about their imposter syndrome. At least the ones that I work with like intimately, it's about imposter syndrome.
I got to tell you, that's really, really interesting because most of us live our lives in these silos as we're building our business, right? So we believe we're going through this stuff all alone. And one of the things I have learned over the course of the last 4 or 5 years is to be vulnerable, make yourself vulnerable enough to allow yourself to be vulnerable enough to have these kind of discussions. Yeah. And just quite frankly, just having that discussion with you, I find out that it's bigger than I have ever even thought that it was. I just thought it was just something that Jay Reynolds was going through. And it's, well,
no, and we all think that. It's personal. No one understands. No, everyone understands.
Cool. Hey, look, unfortunately, we have to go take another commercial break. And we come back. It's going to be more with Dr. Tracy Timberlake. Can't wait to keep talking to you. We'll be right back.
February 19th to the 22nd. Join your favorite culinary stars at the Food Network South Beach Wine and Food Festival.
It's going to be amazing.
Don't miss out on the gastronomic extravaganza that's making waves.
If you haven't been, you are missing it.
Take part in masterclasses, tastings, exclusive events, and so much more. Proceeds benefit educational programs and scholarships at Florida International University.
And buy your tickets early because they're going to go quick.
Get your tickets now at SoBWFF.org.
Welcome home to Kitchen and Cocktails by Kevin Kelly, America's best comfort food. Guess what? Reservations are now open, and we cannot wait to serve you with the finest Southern food this country has seen. Kitchen and Cocktails by Kevin Kelly. Go to Open Table and book your reservation now, or find us on Instagram at Kitchen Cocktails with a K USA. Welcome home. Book your reservation now.
To learn more about what we do, to get involved in our mission to help all of Broward's children learn, grow, and thrive, or to find a program or service for your children, visit us at cscbroward.org. Children's Services Council of Broward County. Our focus is our children.
We're back more with Dr. Tracy Timberlake. Dr. Timberlake, one of the things that's really, really important, and I know the one of the things that you teach is sustainability, how to sustain your businesses or brands and things like that. Let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about what you do. What are some of the daily disciplines or rituals that help to contribute to your success? And flip that and tell me some of the things that you think would be important to a business person looking to be where you are.
Yeah. Great question. I think you have to know your rhythms. Like everyone has different rhythms, and you have to know yours. For example, I do not take phone calls before noon. My business partner, she's up at
what?
I won't do it. I don't take calls before noon. I don't generally take calls on Monday. I mean, this call's on a Monday, like this recording's on a Monday, but generally I don't, because I know my rhythm. I know that I need that time for myself to do what I need to do. So I don't wake up at noon, but like I'm going to wake up, I'm going to have my coffee, I'm going to work out, I'm going to do some reading, some journaling. I'm going to plan my day before I ever get on a phone call with anybody, because I need to make sure that I'm grounded. Like out of integrity, I need to make sure that I am where I need, because the work that I do is so personal and people pay a lot of money for me to show up.
Right. And you have to be at the top of your game all the time.
All the time. Right. Like there's no off days. Like I can't just phone it in. So know your own rhythms is very important. You're going to see a lot of different pieces of advice from a lot of different people. Wake up at 4 a.m. Have separate your day by 3 8-hour. No, you're going to have to figure out again, and this is knowing your metrics. How much time does it take for you to get going? How much time does it take for you to get your stuff done? That's number one. Number two, having a team is incredibly important. And not everybody is at the level to have like a big team. I actually have no desire to have a big team. I don't want to manage that many people. I don't want to talk to that many people during the week.
You got to be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it, man.
Right. So that's important. Having a team is going to help you. Having a team, and then having mentors, people that are more successful than you. Like if you're the most successful person in the room, you're in the wrong room. It's like, I want people who have been doing this I've been doing it for 10. I want people who've been doing it for 20, 30, 40, 50. I want people who have made 3, 4, 5 times the amount of money that I've made. I want people who have connections outside of what I can do on my own. And those, I would say, are the 3 things on a day-to-day basis that I'm always touching. My team, my time, and my mentors.
Cool. That is cool. And it's uniquely you, right? Mm-hmm. It's uniquely you. Biggest business lesson. What was your biggest business lesson learned?
Well, actually, there's 2. Integrity is going to get you very far, and in a lot of different ways. Your reputation matters a great deal.
Say it.
And then number 2, agility in the market, because we live in a very fast-paced world. It is changing every single day. So whatever worked 3 years ago is no longer working now, and you need to be agile enough to make those decisions and to make those adjustments and to pivot when necessary.
Tracy, I'm running out of time with you, but I got to ask you one more question, right? What does success look like to you today, right? What does it mean? Because you've seen so many different businesses. What does it mean to you? What does success mean to you?
Success to me means that you are doing the thing on this planet that you're called to do. Some people will say freedom. Some people will say money. Success to me looks like.
And I got to tell you. Nah, I think money is it's a byproduct of it all. But man, you have to feel as though you're grounded and you're doing the thing that God calls you to do, right?
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, we're running out of time. I could talk to you for another half hour, but I just want to say thank you very much. I know you wear a lot of hats. Thanks for taking the time to do this. I really appreciate talking to you and enjoyed the time. And I want to thank the viewing audience. Thank you for tuning in to the Business of Black Business. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media. And join us next week where we bring another story of Black excellence. Until then, keep building, continue to make a difference. This is the Business of Black Business. I want to thank Legacy Magazine for making this important. All of the folks behind the scenes, you guys, thank you for making this important. And I always say that if it is to be, it's up to me. Until next time, hold it in the road. Take care.
Your organization's ability to thrive is dependent upon your vision, hard work, and the people you employ. Wolf Creek Consulting is a top-rated executive staffing firm specializing in placing professionals in finance, IT, healthcare, and construction. We're a boutique executive staffing firm that focuses on recruiting the best and brightest candidates that are not aggressively pursuing opportunities, but are keeping their options open. From recruitment to workforce management, we offer solutions that reduce your human cost and turnover. We work with clients under several different options to include permanent placement, temporary